Hello everybody, this is Carmichael the Cat, and welcome to your 21st C++ tutorial. In this video, we'll be going over template classes, and template classes are very similar to template functions that we went over in the last tutorial, but instead of just declaring a function as being able to use the abstract types that you declare in the template declaration, you can allow an entire class to use those abstract types. So, the example we're going to use is a recreation of a predefined type in C++ that we haven't gone over yet. It's called the pair. We'll go over it in a later tutorial, but this is going to have a very similar functionality. So, under the pragma once, we'll say template, template, and then we'll have type name t and type name u, just like with template functions, but this line is declaring this entire pair class as a template class rather than just one function. So template classes have a very similar restriction to template functions, and that is that we cannot have the definitions for the functions that are declared within the .h file. We can't have those in a .cpp file, so we really have to just delete the entire .cpp file and declare everything within the .h file. So in our constructor, we'll take two parameters, and we'll say t first and u second, and these represent the first and second values you can have in the pair type. And if you haven't figured it out, a pair just stores two values together, so as a pair. And then we'll declare the function. Let's actually create a private member here. So private. It's not how you spell private. There we go, private. And we'll say we'll say t first and u second. So now we have our members, and actually these shouldn't be private. We should be able to access them from outside of the class, so we'll have these be public. And in the constructor, we'll say this, and then the pointer arrow, and the keyword this in C++ is just saying that we want to use the version of some variable. So in this case it would be first. What we're going to say is this dot first equals the parameter first. So what this is saying is the this and then the dash and the greater than sign, which is the pointer member access operator. This is just saying that we want to use the version of this variable name that's declared within the class, and not the version that is declared as the function parameter. So this is more clear, and actually I think you'll get a compiler if you just try to say first equals first, because this has the same name as this. So be careful when you're doing that. So then we'll just say the same thing pretty much on the next line. This dot second equals second. And now what we've done is we have, in the constructor, we've used the abstract types. So we'll be declaring what types those abstract types will be in each individual instance of the class when we create a new instance of that class. And we're just setting initial values to those first and second member variables. So since we've declared this entire class as a template class, you could use these abstract types that you've declared anywhere within the class. So you could create more member variables, you could have some more functions, and you'd be allowed to use those abstract types there. But for this example, we don't need any more members or functions, so we're going to move on and start using the pair class. So we can include pair.h in our main.cpp file, and we can get rid of all the code from the last tutorial. And now we're going to create an instance of our pair class. So what we say is pair, so you give the class name, and then just like calling a template function, you give a concrete type to the abstract types that are declared in the template declaration in the class here. So we'll say int, and we'll use the same example as last tutorial, constant char pointer, so pointer to a constant char, which is a string, and then we give the class a name, or the instance a name, so we'll say pair1, and as constructor parameters we can say 10 and hello, because our constructor allows us to give initial values to the first and second members. So if we build this, we get an error. One second. Okay, sorry about that. The problem is that we didn't define our destructor function, so we can just have it be empty, so just have opening and closing curly brackets there. And now if we build this, we get a success. So now, just to show that it works, let's print out the values of our pair. So we'll say standard count pair1 dot first, and then comma space, and pair1 dot second, and then end line. So we can build this and run it, and we get 10 comma space hello. So we can also change the types here, so we can say have char in here, and then instead of a 10 we can have I guess a, and we don't have to change anything else about it. And if we build it and run it, we get a and hello. So you can use any type that you want in here, just like with template functions, but the types that you declare here will be used throughout the entire class in that instance. So we can create another pair that has different types, so we can say pair, we'll give this one 2 ints, it doesn't really matter, call this pair2, and store 10 and 20 in it. And so this instance of pair stores 2 completely different types, but it will work the exact same way. I can't get rid of this text box here. There we go. So we could change this to pair2.first and pair2.second, and then we'd get 10 and 20. So separate instances of the class can store separate values in the abstract types that are created when you make this class a template class. So that's all for this video. This is pretty similar to the last tutorial, so there's not too much to cover, and hopefully you understand it. And now, using this information in the next few tutorials, we'll be going into a library called the Standard Template Library, which comes with Visual C++, which is what we're using here. And the Standard Template Library gives us mostly container classes. The ones we're going to go over are the vector, stack, and queue. And we'll also go over the actual predefined type, the pair. So that's what we'll be doing in the next few tutorials, so see you then.